What's up, guys? This is Paladin 20K. This is that video I promised for you guys about my thoughts on the current format. Obviously, you've got your big three of Dino Rabbit, Inzektorz, and Windups. They're really doing a lot right now. Dino Rabbit being the most consistent of those. Dino Rabbit is a little bit overpowered. Not gonna lie on that one. It's a little bit overpowered, but it's also not perfect. That deck draws some really dead hands sometimes. Like, when you open up with 3 vanillas, you kind of auto-lose. Unless you're playing just an absolute terrible player, but that's a very rare occasion. So yeah, Dino Rabbit seems to be wrecking a lot, though. Main thing that makes the deck good right now is mainly Dalka. That card's been putting in so much work for me over the past couple weeks. Been getting a lot of the job done. Windups, next thing I want to talk about. I don't like the loop. I think it's bad for the game. I'm sure everybody else does too. But the deck itself takes some skill outside of the loop. If they would just take away the loop part, like, all you have to do is limit Carrier to 1. You don't even have to touch Hunter at all. I'm fine if you guys put Carrier to 1. That's cool. But sure, everybody's sick of the loop, and the main thing I hate about it is players, these scrubs, for lack of a better word, will pick up the deck, loop somebody a couple times, and think they're good. Like, no, you're not. You're not good because you looped somebody. You just got lucky. It's called sacking. Lightsworn did it 3 years ago. Windups are doing it now. Like, both of those decks are the kind of decks you could put them in the hands of a bad player and they'll win just because they draw amazingly broken sometimes. But outside of that, yeah, I do believe the deck takes some skill. Inzektorz. Inzektorz is definitely a fun deck. Very fun deck. And the plays for it are really simple, but it seems like a lot of people tend to mess up with the deck. Like, I don't understand how you mess up a simple Dragonfly Hornet play. Like, oh, and also, next person I see that equips a Centipede to a Dragonfly is going to get hit. Alright, so just watch out for that if you see me. If you equip a Centipede to a Dragonfly, I will hit you. You just don't do that. That's bad, Yu-Gi-Oh! What else? Chaos Dragons is something else. Kind of a new kid on the block, Chaos Dragons is. I do really like that deck, though. It's a really fun deck, but it has a terrible Inzektor matchup. Like, it's completely awful. It wrecks Dino Rabbit if you play it right. Like, I've personally not had too much trouble out of the deck, but it won against me last time I played against Chaos Dragons, but it was a close game. I think final score was me 200, him 300, so it got really close. But yeah, that deck is really fun. It just has enough boss monsters to push through whatever you could throw at it. So that's what makes that deck really good, is the amount of boss monsters it can drop. And it works similar to that Chaos deck that Courtney Waller surprised everybody with a few YCSs ago. Because you can't max C it. That's another thing that makes it that good, is you can't really max C it unless you drop one during their standby phase. It's kind of a preemptive caution. But yeah, fun deck. Heroes, something else to talk about. Heroes is one of those decks in the middle of every format. It just kind of pops up out of nowhere and does good. Like, somebody somewhere is just like, well, I guess I'm going to build Heroes. You built Heroes and you did good with it. Congratulations. The thing about Heroes is they always have enough resources to plow through any meta. I don't care what decks are popular at the time, they have enough resources to just completely wreck everybody. Main card that makes the deck really good is Super Poly. Because because of so many Dino Rabbit running around. It's an easy way to get over Logia. Wind-ups too. You can hit pretty much anything in your extra deck against wind-ups if you're playing heroes. But I've noticed most people siding the super polys, and like, I mean, that works too, but I like keeping at least one main deck. Like, it's not good versus Inzectors though until we get the Dark Hero. As soon as we get the Dark Hero, that deck becomes pretty broke. Like, they will probably have to at least limit Super Poly at that point, because heroes will just probably show up everywhere. Like, I'm not a fan of the deck. Like, I don't like playing it, but it is a good deck. Like, I've just never liked the hero archetype in general. I've liked Bubble Beat, and that's about the extent of it. As far as how the meta is going to change once we get Galactic Overlord, first off, you're getting Hieratic Dragons. Deck is amazing, but I don't think it's going to kick off here in TCG when it first hits, unless they put Gustav Cannon as one of the imports. Like, that's the main thing that makes the deck good, is the ability to go into Gustav Cannon, burn for 2k, and then attack with it for 3k. Without that, the deck loses some of its OTK potential, but I can still see some slower controlling builds being viable. Maybe somebody will figure out a good 8-star build for the deck. Card D too. Card D makes a lot of decks viable, like Chain Burn. God, what's that other deck I was thinking of? I was thinking of Chain Burn. Final Countdown. That's what it was. Final Countdown. Exodia. Some Exodia strategies. Like, I'm not saying any of those will be tier 1, but they'll at least be decent. Evils are getting some support too. Varied Evolution. Rhoda for them. That deck's actually really good. It reminds me of what happened with GBs and Gravekeepers kind of just got together and, you know, had an orgy. Like, the deck has a lot of cool pieces to it. It can do a lot, but it's so inconsistent right now. I'd say in the future a lot more people will start testing the deck out, and you might start seeing it showing up, but I don't expect it to be broken by any means. Another deck I've been seeing a lot of lately, though, is Photon Beat. Not sure if that deck's just a little fad that's going to flop after a couple weeks, but it reminds me a lot of TGs. Like, they have massive boss monsters. This what makes them different from TGs, but the ability to run Skill Drain and push over a lot of meta decks is really good. Pretty much about it for this video, but probably do some more on the way to regionals, so see ya.